A love-tested, the heated argument between Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza that left fans shocked. In the world of showbiz, where every smile is captured and every silence is questioned, even the strongest bonds can face moments of tension. Recently, whispers of a heated argument between Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza have taken fans by surprise, stirring emotions across the ever-loyal AlDub community. What started as a seemingly ordinary disagreement reportedly escalated into something far more intense, leaving Maine visibly upset and Alden struggling to bridge the growing gap between them. The spark that lit the fire. Sources close to the situation suggest that the disagreement began over a misunderstanding, one that quickly snowballed due to miscommunication and unspoken frustrations. Both Alden and Maine, known for their professionalism and calm demeanor, were said to have reached a breaking point. Maine, who has always been admired for her strong personality and honesty, reportedly felt unheard during the exchange. Her frustration wasn't just about the issue at hand. It was deeper, rooted in emotions that had been quietly building over time. Alden, on the other hand, was said to be caught off guard by the intensity of Maine's reaction. Known for his composed nature, he reportedly tried to explain his side, but the timing and perhaps his choice of words only seemed to make things worse. Maine's emotional reaction. Witnesses described Maine as deeply hurt and visibly shaken. Unlike her usual cheerful and witty self, she reportedly withdrew after the argument, choosing silence over further confrontation. For fans, this was particularly heartbreaking. Maine Mendoza has always carried herself with grace, but seeing her pushed to a point of anger revealed a more vulnerable side, one that resonated deeply with many who have followed her journey. Alden's attempt to make amends. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Alden Richards didn't take long to reflect. Insiders claim he made efforts to reach out, hoping to clear the misunderstanding and make things right. But as with many emotional conflicts, healing isn't instant. Sometimes it's not just about saying sorry. It's about understanding, patience, and giving the other person space to process their feelings. Fans react. Mixed emotions everywhere. As news of the argument spread, fans were left divided. Some expressed concern, hoping the two would resolve their differences quickly. Others speculated about the deeper meaning behind the conflict, questioning whether it hinted at something more complex beneath the surface. Social media quickly filled with messages of support, with many urging both Alden and Maine to find their way back to understanding. A bond stronger than conflict? While disagreements are never easy, especially under the public eye, they are also a natural part of any relationship, whether personal or professional. What truly matters is how both individuals choose to move forward. For Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza, this moment may just be another chapter in a story that has already weathered countless ups and downs. Will this argument create distance or strengthen their bond even more? Only time will tell, but one thing remains certain. The world will be watching, hoping that whatever was broken can still be beautifully repaired. The silence that spoke volumes. In the days following the argument, what stood out the most wasn't what Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza said, but what they didn't say. There were no playful exchanges, no subtle interactions that fans had grown used to. The absence of their usual warmth created a wave of unease. For a tandem known for their natural chemistry, the sudden emotional distance felt louder than any public statement ever could. Maine, in particular, seemed to retreat into herself. While she continued to fulfill her commitments, those close to her noticed a shift. Less laughter, fewer spontaneous moments. It was as if she was protecting her peace, carefully choosing when and how to engage. Alden, meanwhile, carried on with professionalism, but observant fans couldn't ignore the hints of concern in his demeanor. There were moments, brief but telling, where he appeared distracted, as though replaying the argument in his mind, searching for where things went wrong. A turning point behind closed doors. Then came the moment no one saw, but everyone felt. According to insiders, Alden finally requested a private conversation with Maine. No cameras, no audience, no pressure, just honesty. It wasn't an easy conversation. At first, Maine reportedly held back, still hurt, still guarded. The emotions from their argument hadn't simply disappeared. But Alden, determined to make things right, chose to listen this time. Not to respond, not to defend, but to truly understand. And that changed everything. For the first time since the conflict began, Maine opened up, not just about the argument, but about everything she had been feeling. The pressure, the expectations, the moments she felt overlooked. It wasn't anger anymore, it was vulnerability. And Alden heard it all. The apology that mattered. When Alden finally spoke, it wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. He apologized, not just for the misunderstanding, but for the moments he failed to notice her feelings. He acknowledged the hurt, something Maine had been longing for more than anything else. And sometimes that's all it takes. Not grand gestures, not dramatic words, just genuine accountability. Maine didn't respond immediately, but the tension that once filled the space between them began to soften. The wall she had built didn't crumble instantly, but a door quietly opened. A different kind of healing. Rebuilding after a conflict isn't about going back to how things were. It's about moving forward with a deeper understanding. For Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza, this experience became more than just an argument. It became a lesson about communication, about patience, and about the importance of truly seeing each other beyond the spotlight. Their interactions didn't immediately return to their old playful rhythm, but there was something new, something more grounded, more intentional. And fans noticed a simple glance, a quiet smile, small gestures that spoke of a connection slowly finding its way back. Not forced, not for show, but real. What comes next? In a world that thrives on drama, not every story ends in a dramatic reunion or a permanent fallout. Sometimes the most meaningful moments happen in the quiet, away from the noise, away from expectations. The story of Alden and Maine is still unfolding. And while this chapter revealed cracks in their connection, it also showed something stronger beneath it. The willingness to understand, to grow, and to try again. Because in the end, it's not about avoiding conflict. It's about choosing each other, even after it.